Okay, so we're going to be adding mixed numbers. So let's go ahead and write one. We have 2 and 2/3 plus 3 and 5/9. So the first thing we need to do is get a common denominator. And the first thing you want to check to save yourself a bunch of work to see if the smaller denominator goes into the larger denominator. So my smaller denominator is 3, my larger is 9. So 3 goes into 9, so that means that 9 is automatically my least common multiple. So I'll put 9 next to both, and we're going to get our equivalent fractions. So then I'm going to figure out how I went from 9 to 9. 9 times 1 equals 9. 5 times 1 equals 5. So now I have 3 and 5/9, which is what I had. This one will be slightly different. So 3 times 3 equals 9. And since I multiply the bottom by 3, I have to multiply the top by 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So my new fraction is 2 and 6/9 plus 3 and 5/9. So I'm going to go ahead and add 6 plus 5 is 11/9. And then 2 plus 3 is 5. So my answer is 5 and 11/9. But I'm sure you see here that this is improper, and I need to take care of that because that's a fraction greater than 1. So I'm going to take my 9, I'm going to divide it into 11, and 9 goes into 11 one time. 9 times 1 is 9. Subtract 2. I bring up my remainder, and I put it over my divisor, 1 and 2/9. Now I have to add my 5 and my 1, and my answer is 6 and 2/9. I'm going to look at it. It's not improper. It can't be simplified. So that is my answer. Let's look at a few more. I'll go a little slower this time. So let's say we have 4 and 5/8 plus 2 and 2/3. So my denominators now are 3 and 8. Well, this time the smaller one does not go into the larger one. So I need to list my multiples and find out a least common multiple. So I'll list my multiples of 8. 8, 16, 24, 32. And then I'll do the same with 3. See if I get one of these. 3, 6, 9, 12. Nothing yet. 15, 18, 21, 24. So I see 24 is in common. So what I'll do is I'll take my 24 and I will put it next to both of my denominators. Now I'll ask myself, how did I get from each one? So 3 times 8 equals 24. Do the same to the top. 2 times 8 equals 16. So I have 2 and 16, 24ths. Now I'll go down the bottom. 8 times what? I could just count 1, 2, 3, but I'm sure you know that. 8 times 3 equals 24. And 5 times 3 equals 15. Now I will add my numerators. So 15 plus 16 is 31 over 24. And I have my 4 and my 2. So 6 and 31/24. Am I done? No. Unfortunately, I have an improper fraction again. And by the way, you'll know you're going to have an improper fraction if you add two fractions that are greater than a half. It's going to go great over a whole. So this did happen here. So I'm going to divide my 24 into my 31. Goes one time. 31 minus 24 is 7. Bring it up. Over 24. Okay, so now what? Well, I'm almost done. I have to add my 1 whole and my 6. So 6 here plus this 1 is 7. So I have 7 and 7/24. 7 is prime. 7 doesn't go into 24th. So this is my final answer. And let's do one more. 8 and 2/3 plus 2 and 1/9. All right, so let's see what we have here. Now I'll do my check that I did before. Does my smaller number denominator go into my larger one? Yes, yes it does. So 3 goes into 9. So 9 is my denominator. All right, so then I do 9 times 1. 1 times 1, not really necessary, but we'll do it. And then we have 3 times 3. And 2 times 3 is 6. So this one's a lot easier. We have 8 plus 2 is 10. 6 plus 1 is 7 over 9. I got lucky here. So this time I have a regular fraction here. Nothing needs to be simplified. So my answer is 10 and 7/9. All right, so I'm going to give you another one. I don't want to leave off on one that's so easy here. So let's do 2 and 2/3 plus 2 and 5/6. Now this time I will tell you you're going to end up with an improper fraction, and after that you're going to have to simplify. So why don't you go ahead and pause the video and see how well you could do on this problem. All right, hopefully you did it. Let's get started here. So our denominator is 6, and I see my 3 goes into 6, so 6 is my common denominator. Nice and easy, I like when that works out. So 6 times 1 equals 6, 5 times 1 equals 5. So now I have 2 and 5/6. All right, here 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 2 equals 4. I'm going to go ahead and add up. My 4 and my 9 gives me 9 over 6. And then my 2 plus 2 is 4. So I have 4 and 9/6. And you see that this 9/6 is improper. So we got some work to do. So now let's divide my 6 into my 9. It goes one time. 6 times 1 is 6. Bring up this. So remainder over divisor. So it's 1 and 3/6. So I add my 6 and my 1, and I get 7 and 3/6. But wait, I'm not done. 3/6. That can be simplified. We can divide top and bottom by the numerator by 3. So divided by 3. Divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So my answer is 7.5. And you have to make sure you bring the 7 over, because 7 and 3/6 does not equal a half. It equals 7.5. So this is a correct answer. This is a correct answer. And yes, even this is a correct answer. However, 7.5 is your best answer. And if they tell you to simplify, that is the correct answer.